was wondering, when you go on these documentaries, like talking to rapists, and with you and when the bombings happened, do you ever, like every time you go on these like trips, do you fear not coming back because something could happen to you too?
Yeah, it's a weird one. You do at first. I mean, in my opinion, you do it at the start, and then you're just so used to it. I mean, most of the time, places aren't as scary as they seem to be, and you do a lot of preparation in advance. I mean, obviously things could always go wrong, but you start to get quite used to it. And you start to get probably too cocky. You know, you think that everything's fine. I mean, I remember I did a documentary in Venezuela, and then I got kind of like, that was the hairiest scenario I've been in. I kind of like got all our phones taken off us and went to a room, and some guys put guns to our heads, and they thought I was a policeman, and they started like getting really aggressive. And like that was a moment I was like, oh my god, this is probably too far. And then I got through it, and then I was like, oh, it's great television. Let's do that again next time. It's just like, I think you just get like quite used to it. Also, you're in an environment where like everyone else is kind of used to it, so it just becomes the norm.
Yeah, I think the more dangerous, the most dangerous thing is that the more dangerous the environment you're in, the more seasoned the journalists around you are. So suddenly you're with all these war correspondents who've done this for 10 years and don't have a family, or haven't seen them for 10 years. Stop thinking about that, back when Assad took control. Like they're just obsessed with it, and so your gauge for what's normal kind of moves a bit. But I agree completely. You don't do these things thinking I'm going to die. Maybe you do a little bit at first. The Marie Colvin, that film was really good because it shows how she didn't do things sometimes, then regretted not doing it, and then did it, and it was fine, and then did it again, and it was more hairy, but fine, and so she kept on pushing until she didn't come back. And I guess we're all sort of somewhere on that continuum.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard not to be in a way, because...
yeah, and the reality is, though, that 90% of us do this continuum and come out the other end and have a whole load of stories to tell the grandchildren, 99% of us, really. But yes, the small percentage is creeping up.